Do you guys want to know who's not named in the Epstein files? Well, Joe Biden and Barack Obama are not named in the Epstein files. Have a good evening.
You see how with everything Jeffrey Epstein had going on, he still had the time to sit down and write an email about genetically optimizing black people. Apparently our physical capabilities are amazing, however, we're just not smart enough. Can we figure out a way to make those blacks smarter? I don't understand what the obsession is. Like, you're literally looking at black children and measuring their cognitive development as opposed to their physical development. This man said that the reason black people excel in physicality is because their brains simply are not on the level of their white peers. And since physicality is easier, they will excel at that rather than intellectual-based things.
He wants the files released, but won't release them. He's focused on affordability by building a $300 million ballroom. He deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, but threatens war with Venezuela. He'll bring down prices on day one, but beef prices are at record highs. He's America first, but has a $40 billion bailout for Argentina. He's for the working class, but giving tax cuts to billionaires. He has a terrific healthcare plan, but won't tell us what it is. He's protecting federal buildings, but tore down the east wing of the White House. He's cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, but added $2 trillion to the national debt this year. He wants men out of women's locker rooms, but walked into a teenage beauty pageant's dressing room. He's closing down the border, but opening it up for white South Africans. He's a Christian, but never goes to church. He's a businessman, but always goes bankrupt. He loves the military, but dodged the draft. He wants law and order, but he's a convicted criminal. He backs the blue, but not at the U.S. Capitol. He does all this, and you, my American friends, still support him. After 30,000 lies, 6 bankruptcies, 5 draft deferments, 4 indictments, 3 wives, 2 impeachments, and 1 insurrection. After COVID, tariffs, ICE raids, government shutdowns, bribes, corruption, pardons, selective prosecutions, illegal drug boat strikes, unconstitutional executive orders, and months of chaos. Because at this point, my dear Americans, submissive fellow journalists, spineless members of Congress, corrupt business leaders, cowardly university presidents, enabling law firms, out-of-touch rappers, and anyone else who normalizes this shit show, he's not the problem. You are.
Well, they didn't scrub everything. I don't know if you guys have been looking through the files like I have, but there are pages and pages, hundreds of pages that are just completely blacked out, which is completely illegal. However, they didn't scrub everything because I found something. And don't worry, I have receipts. Here you go. It looks like this was filed in 2020. She was 14 years old. She was 14 years old when Epstein took her to Mar-a-Lago and introduced her to Donald J. Trump. You can read it yourself. Epstein elbowed Trump playfully, asking him, "This is a good one, right?" She was 14. Trump smiled in agreement. I don't want any of you ever again telling me he's not involved in this. Read it yourself, even though they are combing through this, trying to redact any mention of anyone in their club. You can read it right here. Stop lying to yourself. Get on the right side of history.
Come on, folks. Why are we not seeing black folks in the Epstein files? Yet we always hear that black people perpetuate most atrocious, activities in America, in any place. And they're very violent. They like violence, and crime, crime rate is high. And the numbers that, we get to see perpetuating these crimes, most percentage comes from black folks. Now, why are we not seeing them in this matter? I believe most of the people are not going to see these, but personally, I got interested. And I want us to watch these videos, and later on, I'll be reacting to them and, sharing my thoughts concerning them. Of course, the files were released, and the way people are looking into them, they're not seeing black folks inside. They're not seeing black folks involved. Yet we always hear that black folks are the worst, and they always do this and that in terms of crimes. Why are they not in this crime? Now, I got interested to know. I want us to dive in, and make sure that you do subscribe, do like the video, share the content. I'm going to greatly appreciate. Thank you so much for being for tuning in, and also for subscribing, for those who've subscribed. And let's dive in. Make sure that you watch to the very end. I'll be reacting to it, and also make sure that you share your thoughts, your views concerning this. I would also want to see it from your view.
Oh my God, Soul Sister, you are so right. I must have had too much eggnog yesterday. I left the 3 most important people out. 3 more, and the most important people, who were not in the Epstein files, who do not appear in the Epstein files, who do not need redactions, and they are, drumroll please, I'll put a drum roll. President Barack Obama did not appear in the Epstein files. And President Joe Biden did not appear in the Epstein files and did not need any redactions for anything. And last, but definitely not least, Kamala Harris did not appear in the Epstein files. Are you seeing a pattern here? Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris did not appear in the Epstein files. Need we say more? And thank you to Soul Sister for bringing that up.
They try their best to demonize black men, but who do we see almost exclusively, pervasively, singularly, only, unanimously in the Epstein files? I guess we ain't gonna talk about that though.
Epstein and some of his people were talking about how to genetically optimize black people and how to make us smarter. And there appeared to be some desire for a mechanical use of us in some form or fashion. I'm still reading and trying to decipher what I read, because it's a lot. It's like this in-depth analysis of us as if we are like animals. It is disturbing to watch or read. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm so tired of people being obsessed with us like this. It is weird as fuck. We be minding our business and somehow still end up in it. And us needing to be smarter, I encourage you to go read it. It's weird as hell. And they call us apes. Just look up blacks and you'll find it.
The first time you saw Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files. Did you close the files or keep reading?
I have reviewed not the entirety of the files, so
you haven't reviewed all of the Epstein files?
Personally, no.
You're the director of the FBI. This is the largest sex trafficking case the FBI has ever been a part of. Buck stops at the top, and your testimony today is you have not reviewed all the files.
What I've been doing is been busy providing the safest country this country has seen in modern U.S. history in historic speed, because the men and women of the FBI are given the resources to reduce the homicide rate, to reduce the drug trafficking rate, to reduce the amount of children that are being trafficked, and the number of pedophiles.
It sounds like those children being trafficked would appreciate the director reviewing the files. You said you don't know the number of times Trump's name appears in the files, so it could at least be 1,000 times. Is that right?
The number is a total misleading factor. We have not released anyone's name in the Epstein files that has not been credible.
Director, could it at least be 1,000 times?
We have released every piece of legally permissible information.
Okay,
you can characterize the numbers however you want it.
You're claiming my time, Director. It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times.
It's not. It's not.
Is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number, but it's not that.
Do you think it might be your job to know the number?
My job is to provide for the safety and security of this country. My job is not to engage in political innuendo so you can go out to the sticks and get your 20-second hit in your fundraising article.
Director.
Keep going, reclaiming your time, because the people of California are being underserved by your representation.
If the president is not implicated, why not release everything that involves him?
We have released everything, the president and anyone else's side, that is credible and lawfully be able to be released.
Remembering your oath to tell the truth, did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in the
It's a simple
Attorney's
question.
file.
Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is simple.
Who
Did you
can
tell
be-
the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes
if you're
or
gonna mock me?
no, Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No? A, B, C,
Director,
D, E, F?
it
Don't
sounds
wanna
like
do
you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your
Director,
constituency
did
by
you tell the
focusing on
Attorney
reducing
General
violent
that Donald
crime in this
Trump's name-
country and the number of pedophiles that
Director,
are legally
reclaim my
harbored in
time,
your
Director.
sanctuary cities in
Director,
California?
reclaim
I'll
my
work with
time.
you on that. Do
Regular
you
order,
wanna
Mr.
work with us
Chairman.
on that?
Director, reclaim
I
my
belong to
time.
the gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or
Question
no?
has been asked and answered.
You've not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt.
Bruh, Michael Jackson might be one of the most lied on people in human history. Let's just keep it real. I mean, when they said the Epstein files was being released and they was coming out, I had my doubts. I'm like, they don't sit on these things for too long. There's certain stuff they gonna bend up, reenact it, they gonna take out, and we just never gonna know about, right? We wanted to know about them billionaires. We wanted to know about these company CEO owners. We want to know about the people who run the world going to the Epstein Island. But you know what we got? Michael Jackson at a fundraiser with Diana Ross kids taking a picture. Lord of mercy. And they tried to insinuate that the kids was from somewhere else, not knowing those Diana Ross kids and this for a fundraiser. It just shows you how the media is still trying to manipulate things to look away with Michael Jackson. All these years later, Michael Jackson is still a scapegoat. He's been gone for what, almost 2 decades now? He's still a scapegoat. And another person they threw out there as a scapegoat, and I kind of don't like that one, Chris Tucker. I don't like that Chris Tucker was thrown out there, because Chris Tucker admit he did go to that island one time. Chris was probably a fool trying to make political connections. You know, he was kicking it with Bill Clinton at the time. And if you want to keep it real, ever since Chris Tucker came back from that island, Chris Tucker has never been the same again. Chris Tucker gave his life to the Lord after that. You feel me? Think about that. Chris Tucker never did nothing after that. Chris Tucker admit he went there. He admit he went there. He seen something that changed his life forever. What did he see? Chris probably need to let us know that. But yeah, ever since Chris got back, you know, Chris ain't been the same Chris Tucker. He gave his life to the Lord. Chris Tucker, whatever Chris Tucker seen, it fucked him up, right? But it just lets you know, whenever these files do come out, it's gonna be a PG. It's gonna be PG. They're not gonna give us the real. They're not gonna give us the real. We beyond that. That shit is not happening, right? But it's just crazy that out of all the people that we expected, the main 2 people that they threw out there was black guys, right? Y'all should have known that was coming though.
Joe Biden, he's not in the files. Kamala Harris, she's not in the files. Barack Obama, he's not in there either. Donald Trump, he's in the files, the photos, the videos, the emails, this birthday scrapbook. It seems the more you look into Jeffrey Epstein, the more connections you find to him and Donald Trump, and the less you find to notable Democrats. But don't get me wrong, even if those connections come up, you wouldn't see me defend a single one of them. But Republicans, they really can't say the same thing.
Take a listen to how Trump's own voters are describing their own emotions right now on right-wing political call-in shows.
I feel really betrayed, and I feel really, really angry. We have a president who tells us to move on from Epstein because it doesn't matter. Are you guys still talking about this? Seriously? And yet he still talks about the 2020 election fraud. He talks about the Hunter Biden laptop. He talks about all this stuff from 5-6 years ago, and he tells us to move on from the Epstein trial or the Epstein case. People like me will not stop talking about this. I feel so betrayed and so angry. This is not what I voted for.
I'm concerned about being able to trust Donald Trump to keep his word. In his campaign, he said he was going to let us know all of the facts about this. And now he's saying, go away, don't pay attention to it.
These Epstein files, we were told that there was going to be released. There was this client list that was going to be released. And the fact that it's suddenly gone away and he's trying to gaslight us is like a punch in the gut to MAGA.
I believe for a long time we've been told and we've always seen this happen, and we've always seen these conversations where black people are termed as people, who are involved so much in crimes. And so personally I got curious. Why are black people not in the Epstein files? Everyone that we can see there, it's only a white person. And now that answers to you about the question that people get to ask themselves. Why is it always about black folks? Because I believe if this narrative was a true one, then we should have expected and we should have also found black folks getting involved in this mess. But looking into things very clearly, we are not seeing any black folk involved. Only people that we are seeing there, you can name them. And now this now takes me to another question. Not question, now this takes me to another phase where I get to ask, why is Donald Trump so much interested in deporting a lot of workers, a lot of undocumented workers? And that's not a crime. Of course, maybe it is a crime, but comparing it with the Epstein files, the Epstein file issue is bigger than undocumented workers, because for them, they benefit even the country. Because if not for them, I believe they would have problems in production, in harvesting crops, of which at some time back you saw when Trump deported a lot of immigrants, there was some challenges in the farm works, and I could see him now calling for black folks to come and work in the farms. And now that shows you where these governments have placed black folks. Now they believe that black folks need now to leave their jobs, their offices, to come work in the farms. That's a topic for another day, man. Let's go back to it. So me looking into it, I see Epstein files being a subject of discussion more than deporting immigrants, deporting undocumented workers, because they are undocumented workers. In short, they work for you, they support your country, they support the economy. So why all this rage towards them? I would love to see that kind of rage when it comes to the Epstein files, when it comes to handling matters that are so sensitive like these ones. But we see he doesn't have that keen interest in talking about it. And now that tries to answer a little bit your curiosity. Why is he not so much interested? Why is he not talking much about it? Why is he lying to people? Even you've seen a lot of Americans are very furious with him. They regret putting him into power because he lied to them. He told them, I'm going to release those files. But me personally, I feel for him to release them, then he must edit a lot of parts of the whole story, so that he might omit anything that links him to that crime. And now this shows you that these politicians, they always try to tell you what you really need to hear, and not what you really need to hear. They tell you what you expect to hear, but not what you need to hear. Not from a point of being honest, not from a point of being real, but from a point of manipulation, because they know the psychological game. And I think that's why Mr. Donald did this. And they are very good at this. They are very good at this game. And I believe for black folks, they knew about this. And that's why they never wanted to vote him in. That's why they never wanted to get involved in making sure that he gets into the White House. White folks are crying, and I can look at the black folks. They're like, yo, man, what are you doing? We already told you. We already told you what to expect, but you never listened to us. You thought that you're so much wise, and you thought that you're so much close to him because he looks just like you, and he's going to stand for your interest. And you can see it's all about the oligarchy stuff. It's not about the people. It's not about the minority. It's not about Americans first, but me as a person and my friends. But look at the narrative that he will sell to you. I am coming so that I may make America great by first making Americans first, putting Americans first. But we can look at the actions. They don't match whatever he said. And now you can now get to understand whatever I was saying, that it's all a mind game. And these politicians, they know how to play it very well. Now, personally, I would say it's a mistake that white Americans did, and they have to live with that harsh reality. Of course, they better be in class now and try to learn some of the things that they did wrong and try to rectify in the next elections. Now, these are just my thoughts. Drop your views. I would also want to get to understand it from your view, get to see it from your lens, and I believe together we are going to learn a lot, especially from each other. So drop your comments, drop your thoughts, and I'm going to greatly appreciate. I'd like to bring it to a close here, hoping to see you in the next episode. For now, see you soon, folks. Stay tuned and take care of yourselves. Goodbye.